eyes on me. All eyes on me. All eyes on me.
There is renewed hope for two teams that didn't make the Ninja A-League finals last season, but as the Newcastle Jets host the Western Sydney Wanderers, both bring good form into this meeting, Newcastle's first match at home at number 2 Sports Ground this season. Let's take a look at the weekend because we get the action started in Newcastle for round 4 of the Ninja A-League, followed shortly by Canberra hosting Perth Glory. 2 matches tomorrow, Wellington Phoenix against the Melbourne Victory, Sydney hosting Central Coast Mariners, and Melbourne City versus Adelaide will be a catch-up game in mid-December. So Newcastle unbeaten with a win and a draw so far this campaign, while the Wanderers broke a 27-game streak without a clean sheet as they won away in Brisbane last weekend. It means that both sides are hoping to position themselves in the top 6 during this early stage of the season. There's going to be a skew in games in hand, and 3 points today would be priceless for these two sides. See our officiating crew about to lead both teams out of the tunnel onto the number 2 Sports Ground. Let's take a look at the Jets lineup. They make one change to the team that drew 1-1 away in Wellington on Sunday. It is Kelly Brown, the New Zealander, who comes into the starting 11 with countrywoman Charlotte Lancaster dropping out of the matchday squad, and Alexis Collins could make her first appearance of the season as she is added to the bench. Lauren Allen walking out there in the number 13 shirt. She becomes just the 5th Jet today to play 100 games for the club, a feat that was recognised pre-game with a collage and presentation of her in the shirt over the years. It's been a great career so far for the 26-year-old since she returned from college in America, but she is from the northern suburbs of Sydney and now has made Newcastle her home. 100 games and 21 goals. Let's take a look at the Wanderers lineup. Goal scorer from the Brisbane win, Olivia Price, comes into the starters. Talia Yunus drops out of the matchday squad, as does Alvina Koshaba. Amy Barker could make her Ninja A-League debut coming off the bench. And Wong Ying, the Chinese international with 4 caps to her name, is also added to the substitutes after landing in Australia during the week. Ella Buchanan has made a flying start to the Ninja A-League season. The former young Matilda, still only 21 years of age. She has 2 assists so far this season and has been in the Opta Team of the Week in all 3 rounds of the campaign so far. She'll be hoping for another good display at left back today. Stephen Hoyle, the Englishman who spent a decade coaching in New Zealand before crossing the ditch to take this post at Newcastle, yet to taste defeat in the job, and now we'll be hoping the home crowd can find him a second win of the campaign. Today's referee in the middle of your picture there is Molly Godsell. Standing to her left, or on the right, is Amber Morris, and the other assistant referee is Vicky Clark, and the 4th official for today's match is Michaela Ryan. Jeff Abrahams is slowly putting together his best 11. Kim So-Yun, Sonny, arrived for round 2. He then now has Wong Ying on the bench for today, round 4, and the other Chinese national, Yuan Kong, is in Newcastle, just not on the team sheet today. So the pieces are starting to fall into place for Wanderers. Head-to-head, Newcastle 7 wins, Western Sydney Wanderers 9, and 4 draws, amazingly over their history. 32 goals apiece. Wanderers have good recent history against the Jets, 3 wins and 2 draws in the last 5. Melina Ayres may have a great scoring record in the A-League Women's, but would you believe the Wanderers are the only team she's never scored against? 6 head-to-head appearances, no goals. If she does score today, she'll complete the set of having scored against every Ninja A-League team, including Western United. Wanderers in their huddle, captain Amy Harrison leading the team talk ahead of career game number 135 for her in the number 7 shirt there. Newcastle's her favourite opponent, 15 appearances and 4 goals head-to-head over the course of her career, more goals than any other opponent. Sham Kharmas heading between the sticks. coming off that clean sheet last week, will be hoping to make it 2 in a row. The 30-year-old is set to play game number 94 of her career today. So Newcastle to attack the right of your screens in the first half. Will their unbeaten run continue, or can the Western Sydney Wanderers make it a winning streak, having got off the mark just 6 days ago? Underway in round 4 of the Ninja A-League. Newcastle hosting Western Sydney, and straight from kickoff an interception from Amy Harrison and Kim So-Yun. Sonny combining with Ella Buchanan, who's looking to roam forward, and a slide challenge comes in from Josie Wilson to put the ball out for a throw in. Wanderers have never actually won at this venue, the number 2 sports ground, so it would be a breakthrough of sorts if they can win today. Buchanan's cross straight onto the head of Josie Allen, no relation to Lauren Allen, as we see an early shot on the turn from Holly Caspers, and looping out for a goal kick. Anna Harada scuffing that ball into the penalty area, and a speculative attempt from Caspers, who did score last time the two teams met, which was a 4-1 win in the end for the Wanderers. That was back in February of last season. Newcastle did score first in that game, though, through their centre-back Tash Pryor, who is going to receive this pass here from Claudia Chico. Pryor, who has a handful of Matilda's caps, but missed out on selection in the most recent squad. Danica Matos with a touch on the ball, and a midfield battle ensues. Anna Harada over the right side, and the ball will run down to New Zealand goalkeeper Anna Leet. 22 cap Kiwi international is in the Football Ferns for their upcoming series of games. Here goes Claudia Chico. Now Josie Allen puts the head down and starts sprinting forward. Following up to the edge of the box, past Kelly Brown, and centre-back Poppy Hooks was able to put a foot on the ball. And now Lauren Allen in game 100 challenging Amy Harrison. Both teams think it's their throw, and the Wanderers will get the decision. Allen, who went to college from 2019 to 2021. Pryor playing it safe, putting the ball out for a throw-in. Leet was on for the back pass there, but Pryor thought otherwise. Caspers back to goal. Newcastle with a 2-on-1, and Emma Dundas clears away. Dundas, who was called up to the Young Matildas this week, getting a recall to that squad. Still only 18 years of age. Amy Chisari working with Ella Buchanan in a 1-2, and Chisari caught by the backtracking Libby Copus-Brown. Copus-Brown is going to drive long, looking for Melina Ayres. First touch for the centre forward, and then a back pass which Hooks had to quickly squeeze down to Karmas. Karmas plays it over the top of Kelly Brown out to Buchanan. Here's Hooks. Oh, Miss Chisari with the pass. Dundas takes over for the Jets. Kelly Brown at the edge of the area. And as it slides on, Josie Allen, half a chance, but Harada was in the right position. Well, Hooks inviting on pressure with that giveaway. Newcastle still trying to pin the Wanderers back. Lauren Allen's header needed to be dealt with. Alana Cern able to find Buchanan and clear. Now Sonny. Amy Harrison as the Wanderers break out of defence. Oh, Sonny in a 50-50 there, losing out to Josie Wilson. And the ball's going to be popped over the top. Buchanan, ankles tapped, and Lauren Allen gives away the free kick. No protests this time from Allen after catching the right leg of Buchanan. Buchanan, whose sister Kaya has broken into the league this season at the Central Coast. But Kaya's the older sister, Buchanan the younger. That will be an intriguing storyline when we get Wanderers versus Mariners for the first time in the campaign. Mariners play Sydney FC tomorrow in round 4 of the Ninja A-League. Wanderers just a little shaky playing it out from the back in these first 5 minutes. They've invited Newcastle on again here. Claudia Chico to take the throw. Kelly Brown. Now Chisari winning the ball away. Harada. Sham Karmas happy to be patient. Hooks. Saw the press coming from Copus Brown. Newcastle through Ayres. Straight at Karmas. Barely needs a half chance. Melina Ayres a little rueful shake of the head. And again, Harada caught in possession by Dundas. Ayres tried to capitalise, but sent it straight at the keeper. And we'll get another chance here, Ayres. Forced wide by Chisari. Chico's cross. Bounces away from Ayres this time. Harrison, Price. Chico wins the ball. Dundas. Josie Allen. Tried to find a gap. Copus Brown can't take possession. Danica Matos clears. And Casper's dragged deep to help out the midfield. And Buchanan misses the pass. Lauren Allen with a bit of force. Buchanan stays down. Caspers has got to get back and cover over on the left side of defence here. Allen went for the nutmeg. And Caspers is going to play it safe and put it out because Ella Buchanan, it was obvious from the moment she crashed in there against Lauren Allen that something wasn't right. And she tried to get back up and couldn't. And so Caspers, the centre forward, had to come back and cover and did a good job of it in defence. So the physio's out, and this is a worry early in the game for the Western Sydney Wanderers. The right knee seems to be in focus. Oh dear. It doesn't look good with the way the knee shifted as it planted in the turf there. Wanderers coach Jeff Abrahams pondering the options on the bench as the physio continues to assess. One more look in slow motion. Oh dear. Hopefully it is the impact of knee on knee and not the twisting motion of the leg planting in the ground. And perhaps that's why Ella Buchanan, who is a tough cookie, is happy to try and shake this off. Of course, it's no guarantee of anything. We saw Alyssa Wynnum, who sadly was diagnosed with a torn ACL last week for Wellington, briefly come back onto the pitch last week. In the meantime, it's 11 versus 10, and the Jets are trying to capitalise here. Into the traffic, Copus Brown struck the ball without the necessary force to beat all the Wanderers players back. It's red alert here for the 10 of Western Sydney. Can Newcastle make the most of this power play? Cassidy Davis hangs up across, is unmarked, and perhaps would have expected a better outcome as the ball never found its way out and is scooped straight back into the arms of Sham Karmas. Newcastle will feel like they've done enough to take the lead already. That strike from Copus Brown just lacked the power and Ayres. We've seen her score headers from that range before. It is a difficult header for many, that distance from goal, but Melina Ayres has it in her goal-scoring history. 37 of them over the course of her Ninja A-League career. Buchanan is back on, but watch this space. It's 11 versus 11 restored for now. But to finish the point, it's been a dreadful week for the ACL, with Wellington Phoenix revealing on Friday that both Tessel Middag, their Dutch import, and Alyssa Wynnum are both out for the season, having suffered ACLs in the first 3 rounds. Wanderers might have more possession, but don't let that deceive you. Newcastle are well and truly on top in terms of territory and chances So far through the first 10 minutes, it's been all hands on deck for Western Sydney, preserving this 0-0 scoreline. Back pass here is going to force Leet to retreat ever so slightly. Newcastle happy to be patient. Cass Davis comes back to play the ball alongside Pryor. Almost up to the halfway line then. Chico. And coughs up the ball to Harada. Matos down the right sideline. Not much on for the Wanderers though, and Newcastle reset. Leet able to roam out of the penalty box and put the ball straight onto the head of Poppy Hooks, who won the ball emphatically in the air. Now Price trying to get forward. Dundas has been combative in these early stages. Shot count in Newcastle's favour, 3 already in the first 10 minutes. That will be a battle to watch today. Chisari here on the ball against Emma Dundas, who was charging in on Harrison there, but not enough to affect the pass. I just feel like there's a real zip in the step of Dundas, having been recalled to the Young Matildas, having missed out on the most recent selection. Here she is on the ball again. For those of you uninitiated, the Young Matildas, the under-20s, they've got a 2-game series coming up in Canberra against South Korea during the international break. It'll be vital preparation for them. The squad is entirely populated with A-League women's players. Here's Pryor. Kelly Brown round the corner. Buchanan, first time we've seen her on the ball. Typically fearless, diving in for the slide challenge straight away. Get the thumbs up from the physio. It's hard to turn the competitive instincts off. It's Chisari here with a foul on Dundas. I flagged that would be a matchup to watch in the first coming together between the two. Results in Dundas winning a free kick. Chisari, yeah, well and truly late to the ball. Dundas maybe could ask the question about an early yellow card there, but the referee says just a free kick. Wilson wants to burst down the right. Can't quite link up with Lauren Allen. So aside from a touch in the very first minute of the game, we haven't seen much of Sonny yet. Kim So-Yun made such an impact against the Brisbane Roar last weekend. You see her on the right side of your screen in the number 9 shirt. The South Korean. Holly Casper's doing all the work solo up top at the moment. Wanderers need their playmaker in the game. Chico. Leet still really only entering the prime years of a goalkeeper's career, 24. So a good season in the Ninja A-League, and anything's possible as far as moving back to Europe. She has been on the books of Aston Villa. As Buchanan plays it back pass to Karmas. Kelly Brown has not been afraid to press the keeper today and very nearly won the lottery. That is something she specialises in, Kelly Brown, the closing speed, pressing the goalkeeper. And she's never afraid to buy a ticket and chase a lost cause. And when it's Kelly Brown, all it takes is one loose touch like that from Karmas, and you could cough up a very soft goal. Luck's a fortune for Western Sydney. Here's another look. That touch just a little bit too far out in front. Great challenge from Price, and then the pass not able to match. Caspers and Sonny both look on as the pass runs long. Price again, looking for a better ball this time, looking for Kim So-Yoon. Leet out of the line to clear, good goalkeeping, and now a free kick in midfield. Josie Allen able to get the better of her opponent. Allen also called into the young Matildas this week. Game number 27 today for the 19-year-old. Allen trying to slalom through the right side of the Wanderers' defence. Harada winning the ball away. Alana Cern from the centre of defence gives possession away to Josie Allen, and then Allen not able to find a teammate. Stephen Hoyle there in the foreground giving plenty of instruction. Would have recognised that Josie Allen looks in pretty good form on the ball over on that left wing so far today. Not afraid to dribble at defenders and try to take the game on. Karmas taking plenty of time before kicking long here. Poppy Hooks, long ball over the top. Header initially from Wilson, second ball there to be won. Price tried to force it on to Caspers, couldn't find a way through. And that's about as loud as we've heard the crowd at number 2 Sports Ground so far today as they protested the assistant referee's decision. Maybe Buchanan had a case. You be the ref at home. Ball's back in dispute regardless. Needs to be won here. Cern clearing high. Caspers, a little nod to keep the ball in. Oh, and Wilson's going to cough it back up. Caspers tried to shoot on side, and Anna Leet. Caspers is arguing there were some fingertips on the ball there from the Newcastle goalkeeper, and she might have a case. It was going well wide regardless, but perhaps that element of surprise meant Leet wasn't to know. So the end result is a goal kick, and seemingly no harm done. After Caspers was able to pick the pocket of Josie Wilson. Copus Brown. Davis. Leet. Flick header on from Kelly Brown is going to get the referee's attention for a potential head clash here. Wanderers defender didn't seem too affected. However, Brown, who's got a pretty cursed history with injury, the doctor and the physio are out straight away here. It was a good leap from Poppy Hooks, who we've already seen win a couple of headers so far in the game. Pretty good at judging the flight of the ball, the Wanderers centre back. Kelly Brown is going to have to walk to the sideline here. 24 years old now, Brown, has won senior caps for New Zealand. It's her 30th Ninja A-League game today as well. Still making her way at a third club. Started at Wellington, had a stint at Perth last season, and now at the Jets. Not exactly sure why the game hasn't restarted here as we wait for Kelly Brown to walk around the sideline. And that's the incident that has led to the initial concern. Fourth official, Michaela Ryan, is going to have to add that back all on at the end of the half for stoppage time. And Brown back on. Chisari working on the right side in space. And the cross immediately blocked away by Dundas. The territory battle has levelled out. It was Newcastle on top early, but the Wanderers have now gone down into their final third on more occasions. So the pendulum just starting to move. The question is, can the Wanderers create a chance quite as threatening as some of the early forays forward from Newcastle? Brown straight back on, straight back into the thick of it, but giving away a free kick here against Price. That's the initial foul, and then there was afters too. Price not the sort to perhaps react flammably to antagonisation like that, though. I think Brown knew what she was doing, not letting Price get back up. However, Price not one to get hooked into the byplay. Chico. Josie Allen, we've seen this move a few times already, trying to forge forward, but instead happy to reset with Pryor. Now Wilson. Harrison leading a press here for Western Sydney, but short-lived. Newcastle do find Chico in space. Telegraphed the pass that time. Matos steps up and wins the ball away. Can Wanderers hit on the counter? Price looking for Buchanan, and the backtracking Lauren Allen sends it out for a throw-in. Long throw by Buchanan, looking for Sonny. The Wanderers find themselves deep in attack. However, there's too much on that throw-in. And it bounces up off the surface out for a goal kick. So about a quarter of the way through the day's action. Newcastle 0, Western Sydney Wanderers 0. Game has certainly settled down now after Newcastle flew out of the blocks with a more aggressive team in the first 10 minutes. Wanderers avoiding conceding an early goal. Has certainly put them back in the game, albeit with Newcastle leading possession still quite emphatically. Josie Allen goes for the burst of speed and then ran into Harada. The ball finds its way onto Kelly Brown, able to turn and face at the edge of the box. Now Cass Davis, Lauren Allen hoping for Ayres. Good defensive header away by Cern, but only as far as Dundas. Dundas resists the urge to shoot with so many bodies in the road. Copus Brown, however, goes high And a scramble against the line. Last touch off Buchanan, so it's a corner for the Jets. And Copus Brown, well, it had just enough momentum on it to run towards the line but not cross, and so Copus Brown, having set up the first corner of the game, will now go over to take it. And that has brought the fans at number 2 Sports Ground into the game. You can hear them urging the home side on. Copus Brown, a driven corner beyond the back post and beyond everyone. Cass Davis, second ball back in. And in the milestone game, it is a perfect outcome for Lauren Allen. Nodding in on the end of the second ball. Ninja A-League goal number 22 in game 100. And the fan favourite salutes. The initial corner, not the most promising, but Cass Davis able to get to the ball first, pop it back in, first touch. And Lauren Allen timed the run. There were pleas from the Wanderers defence, but it was a high looping ball, giving her plenty of time to run. And that smile says it all. The 26-year-old Lauren Allen scores for the 4th time against the Western Sydney Wanderers, and 22nd career. It's Newcastle 1, Western Sydney 0. And now from kickoff, Wanderers looking for the instant reply. Buchanan getting forward. And where the first corner of the game led to a Jets goal, Wanderers have one of their own. Here's another look. It was such a simple finish. Poppy Hooks, you see there, pleading to the assistant referee, but there was no flag forthcoming. So the Jets, real good groundswell of feeling around the team. Can they stand firm here against the Wanderers' first corner of the game? Amy Harrison to the back post. First head, and Hooks was the target. No second corner, and Kelly Brown has already had one head knock in this game, challenging Poppy Hooks in the air. And she's down again here. Let's take a look. Hooks was trying to win the header. Brown, well, not so much defending as just in the way. And she's borne most of the brunt of the oncoming Poppy Hooks there. So another assessment from the doctor. It's a tough start to the game for her. Anna Leet brings over a drink bottle and says, have a sip. We've actually got a halftime feature lined up for you where we'll hear from Kelly Brown. Hopefully she'll still be a participant in the game by the time we get to halftime here. She's going to have to run to the sideline again after the medical staff came out to assess. But again, the doctor's right there on the scene and seemingly given the tick of approval. And after Hooks' protests, it appears as though the Wanderers do have repeat corners, but now it's 11 versus 10. Can they make the most of it in their hunt for an equaliser? Harrison on delivery from both sides. Hooks up and wants a third corner in a row here. This time the referee doesn't agree. Poppy Hooks is dominating this game in the air. Rose highest, won the header, and just couldn't keep it under the crossbar. That is one to watch at set pieces as the game goes on. I suppose the only issue Poppy Hooks would have is that Newcastle scored from a header at the other end. Wanderers' 8th goal conceded of the season. Most in the league so far. Dundas able to emerge from a tangle with Caspers. Copus Brown. Josie Allen sizing up Danica Matos and decides against taking her on as Chisari comes across. And so Wanderers streak without a clean sheet. They'll be hoping it's not another 27 games until they keep a clean sheet again, but it won't be today. Kim So-yun, great little spin, goes to work here. We haven't seen much of her on the ball here, but that was a nice piece of play. Buchanan up into the attacking half. Harrison touching it on. Sonny made ground in time, but the pass is deflected straight to Josie Allen. Chisari battling. Now Sonny takes over. Price. Nice little sidestep to get out of traffic. Wanderers committing numbers forward. Buchanan. Well, that pass is going to force Matos to backtrack. However, the Wanderers do keep possession. As Brown comes back on, we see Newcastle are protecting the ball a bit better at the moment. Case in point, as they try to get out of their defensive half here, Buchanan puts a foot in, spills it to Harada, and did that catch a deflection? No, it did not. Out for a goal kick. So an interesting opening half hour. We've had quite a few stops, 2 head knocks for Kelly Brown, the knee injury scare for Ella Buchanan. And of course the goal. Look at Leet here, the positioning. If Harrison had won the ball away there, Leet was well off her line over on the left side of the penalty area, but all's well that ends well. Hooks goes high. It was a risky pass. Dundas working with Josie Allen. A couple of young Matildas linking up. Hooks with a header to repel away. Now Matos down the right sideline. Through comes Chico. Harada calls for the pass. Hooks obliges. Chisari. Newcastle getting closer and closer in the press, but the Wanderers have played through it. And now the ball over the top. Sonny, will she get there before Leet? No, the goalkeeper out first. A thumbs up from the Korean attacker. Well, that was a teasing ball from Holly Caspers over the top, setting Kim So-yun away. And out came Anna Leet. Again, just daring Caspers to commit and charge in on the keeper, standing outside of her penalty area. Chico with a bit of backspin has given the ball away here to Price. Wilson, volley to her own advantage. Now Chico, a more no-nonsense clearance, sending the ball into the attacking half. Kelly Brown put the arms up there as a defensive action, and was risking giving away an infringement if you do handle the ball. Hooks nearly caught in possession by Ayres. So Wanderers have to clear by any means necessary. Caspers with the header on. Sonny did really well protecting the ball for Caspers. The attack stays alive for Western Sydney. Sonny inside. Price to Caspers. Buchanan breaking. Great run by the left back. How about the cross? Buchanan steadies and can't find a teammate. Chico half volleys away. And now the counter for Newcastle might be on here. Kelly Brown. And it's a yellow card for Anna Harada for the way she fouled and held up Kelly Brown. First of the game. Home fans were waiting for the referee's whistle to go there. And once it did, it was a yellow card straight out of the pocket for the Japanese national Anna Harada. 24-year-old playing her 26th game today, actually scored her one and only goal in the Ninja A-League against Newcastle last season. So she'll have to watch her step from here. Pryor opts for a back pass to Leet. Tash Pryor. Dundas's return pass there. Let's take another look at the yellow card. Brown's trying to get away. Harada gave the impression that she might have grabbed the shirt. It wasn't the most full-blooded grab and grapple there, but enough to constitute the first yellow card of the game, according to Molly Godsell, the referee. Price, Kim So-Yun building into the game. Caspers, great turn past Chico. More defenders to contend with though. Price to Matos, who's got forward. Matos a low cross. Copus Brown, a little dink on. And Hooks has Brown at-pointed. Buchanan trying to trap a forcefully hit pass instead. Lauren Allen, Newcastle's goal scorer, takes it away. Ayres, it's backspin on the ball, meaning Buchanan's got to fight for possession. Harrison, Chisari knows that Copus Brown's trying to pick her pocket from the blind side, and Copus Brown refused to be beaten there. And the crowd appreciates the hustle from the midfielder. Trying to turn defence into attack with a long ball here. Kelly Brown roaming after it, out to the right corner. Brown swings it across first time. Headed away by Matos. Price. Oh, challenge from behind by Chico. It's knocked over Sonny here. Chico protests her innocence as she leaves the scene. Well, as a defender, whenever you tackle from behind, you take big risks. If it is a foul, Newcastle, well, they're not protesting too much, the Wanderers, but Chico wouldn't want to crash in like that again. Otherwise, it will be a yellow card. This time, just a free kick. Chisari. Harada. Cern's pass, Harrison round the corner. Trying to change the pace of the attack by striking that ball first time. Instead, it's Newcastle coming back in the other direction. Ayres sets Brown away. And Brown striking first time. Picked out Karmas. Was there the option to take a touch and advance further forward? Brown decided shooting on sight was enough. Here's a look at match possession so far. It is starting to balance out that little bit more. Still skewed in Newcastle's favour. More importantly, they have the goal. Not seen much of this so far from Wanderers, passing the ball around their back line. They're often a direct team, and, well, you can understand because the number of times Newcastle have won the ball back high has caused them real headaches. However, they are on the move here. Sonny, forward she goes. Kim So-yun resists the urge to shoot, passes to Price. Price keeps the relay going. Matos saved away by Leet, and the follow-up from Caspers is blocked. Well played by Josie Wilson to block the follow-up. Chisari, a long way from the box, finds Sonny on the turn. Sonny doesn't want to pull the trigger, and in the end, Dundas wins the ball away with a clean tackle, but this might have been Wanderers' best moment of the half so far. Price, unselfish, and then Matos was able to fire in. Not sure it was a shot on target, but Leet wasn't taking that risk. Put out a right hand and parried away. Here's Sonny. Turning back to Buchanan. Chisari, a loose touch. You see there's a yellow card that's been confirmed for Lauren Allen. We'll revisit that at the next break in play. As Allen clears and as the ball finds its way out. We're checking in with hopefully a line to the match commissioner and the fourth official to find out exactly why Lauren Allen has ended up in the book, but that's the word we've got, yellow card for the goal scorer. Alana Cern with a long ball. Wanderers are starting to look a bit more menacing when they go forward in attack, and even though we're beyond the 40-minute mark, there should be plenty of stoppage at the end of this half. Casper's over the shoulder and no strike partner up there with her inside the penalty area. Copus Brown trying to split the centre backs. Hooks and Cern combine. They haven't cleared yet though. Ayres header straight to Matos. Sonny. The ball is broken kindly here. And she decelerates and lets the defenders get back goal side. Casper's getting forward in support. Harrison's got forward too. Wilson's header. And then Davis with a volley, only as far as Price. Price puts it over the bar. Well, it's been an action-packed half. The longer it's gone, the busier it's gotten. This was Caspers helping out Kim So-yun. Not sure why there's such a reticence to shoot today from the South Koreans so far. It's gone to some potentially dangerous positions, but seems more than focused on passing rather than having a go. Maybe that'll change in the second half. Buchanan, block tackle against Lauren Allen. Allen advancing. Ayres calls for the ball at the back post, and Alana Cern able to block away. Getting across just as Lauren Allen was about to swing across in. Defending from the front, Sonny puts the ball out for a throw-in. Good run by Cass Davis on the end of Lauren Allen's throw. The pass not able to match, however. Harrison, got to be careful. Players were coming from all points of the compass there, and Harrison found herself trapped in a 3-on-1. Chico, Dundas. Last minute of regulation before the fourth official lifts the board. Josie Allen taking on two opponents, and Danica Matos stops that from advancing any further. Game number 95 today for Matos, closing in on becoming the first Western Sydney Wanderer to play 100 games for the women's team. She's already the game's record holder in the Ninja A-League for the club. Dundas protected the ball, steering away from danger. Wilson, Allen, good run from Copus Brown. Copus Brown looking for Allen on the return. Allen's quick, but she's not quick enough to get to the ball. As we have another look at the underlapping run there from Lauren Allen. We've moved into 3 minutes of injury time at the end of the half. I'm going to say I am a little surprised by that. The referees were given a directive at the start of the season to be really strict on stoppages and to reflect that in added time at the end of each half, but 2 head knocks for Kelly Brown, the knee scare for Ella Buchanan, the goal. In the end, 3 minutes is the verdict, and it's enough time for Wanderers to keep chasing an equaliser here. Great run from Matos on the end of Price's pass. Casper's first-time shots lacked the power to really trouble Anna Leet. It's been a good half for the Newcastle goalkeeper. It's really helped out with how they play out from defence and has been on call whenever Wanderers have looked threatening in attack. 1 of the 3 minutes ticked by. The unbeaten Jets, can they get to half-time with the lead intact? Here's Davis. Ayres. With a deflection, it's still going to find its way to Lauren Allen. And the pass breaks a little skinny Cern. Harrison knew about the danger of Dundas. How about that from Harrison? With such dare to take the game on. Into the attacking half go Western Sydney. Sonny slows things down, waits for Caspers. Newcastle defence back in position, and Sonny not able to unpick the lock here. In fact, it's out for a goal kick, so great result for Newcastle. Amy Harrison knew there was open field. If she got past Dundas, she was away. That's the sort of play that Western Sydney are going to need in order to get back into the game. Harrison released this season into midfield with the arrival of Poppy Hooks and Alana Cern, and on the bench today, Wanderers got the defender Wong Ying, the capped Chinese international, to bolster their defensive stock. So I think we can just about make it a certainty that unless there's an injury crisis, Harrison will stay in midfield for the Wanderers. And why not with phases of play like that? Newcastle are just milking the clock here, managing this lead to half-time. Wanderers are going to have to use every second, and Cern decides to go back to Karmas here. Route 1 is the order. Karmas high and long, flick header by Caspers. Straight to Wilson, and the offside flag should take this match to half-time. 3 minutes of stoppage expired. Pryor with a long ball. Buchanan's header, and there goes the half-time whistle. It's been a very happy milestone game for Lauren Allen. A goal on the occasion of her 100th Ninja A-League match is the difference between the two teams. Wanderers grew into the game as the half went on, though, and it means there is still plenty more to the story. Half-time at number 2 Sports Ground. Newcastle Jets 1, Western Sydney Wanderers 0. So let's take a look at the first half highlights, and it was a very attacking game. Both teams playing with real intent. It was a bit scrappy in the early exchanges. Newcastle able to win the ball in high positions after some loose Wanderers passing. Ayres with a chance, and then Copus Brown as well with an opportunity there, which was blocked away. Ayres with a free header too, perhaps could have done more with that. Not too many players score that header in this league. Melina Ayres is one of them who can. And then this was nearly a disaster for Sham Karmas, caught by Kelly Brown, but the ball went the right side of the post as far as the goalie was concerned. And then Anna Leap just lost her bearings there, leaping after a shot that was going well wide. This is the only goal of the game so far. Cass Davis with the cross, Lauren Allen timed her run, and from a second phase ball at a corner, it is Lauren Allen scoring for the 22nd time in the Ninja A-League, and her 4th career goal against Western Sydney. Poppy Hooks, that was an underrated chance as there was back-to-back corners. Kelly Brown, perhaps the eyes lit up a little hastily, shooting first time, straight at Karmas there. And then at the end of the half, as Wanderers grew into the game, this was Danica Matos with a flying attempt that was saved away by Leet. And then Josie Wilson put the block on Holly Caspers following in. And then this shallow clearance here, Price decided to have a go, but sent it over the crossbar. A lot of highlights, a lot of attacking. It's reflected in 13 total shots in the game. Passing accuracy has improved as the half has gone on. To be honest, it's a high-quality game between two teams that missed the finals last season, but they are turning it on so far in this one. Stick around, the halftime show is on the other side of this short break.
It is an offence for any spectator to enter the field and play without authorisation. Any spectator that enters the field and play without authorisation will be evicted from the stadium, potentially banned from attending future matches and handed over to police for further questioning. And a financial fine may also be issued. The APL is committed to providing a safe and enjoyable environment for everyone, and would ask you to respect the players and match officials by remaining in the seating bowl.
On Friday, it was the milestone of 100 days until the AFC Women's Asian Cup kicks off. You see Madison Asen from Sydney FC, also former Matilda Sarah Walsh, the Matildas coach Joe Montemuro, all in the heart of Sydney, celebrating the countdown to 100 days until kickoff. So today is 99 days until the AFC Women's Asian Cup. They're all playing for that trophy, and you can see it all on Network 10 during the tournament. Ice cream's the order of the day at halftime here at the number 2 Sports Ground. It is Newcastle 1 leading the Western Sydney Wanderers 0. Let's find out a little bit more about some of the Newcastle players behind the scenes.
Who's more likely to nutmeg the other in training, and has it happened already? I fear I'm going to be the one.
Hasn't happened yet.
Well, it's coming though.
Now it is. And it's going to be me.
Ooh. Describe each other's playing style in 3 words. Oh, that's quite intimate. Go on, say nice things. Go.
Direct.
Oh, cute, yeah.
Aggressive. Clinical.
That's crazy, you've killed it. I'm going to say determined. I think that's the one.
Okay.
So rapid fast. That was so many words, but rapid fast. I'm just hyphenating. And goat. Goat. Got you. What's the one Kiwi snack or food you desperately miss, and what's your emergency substitute over here? Mine would be like chocolate milk. Aussies don't really make it the same.
Milk?
Well, it's not the same. Like, I need Poo-Wee Valley, I need Lewis Road Creamery.
Oh.
So I'm defaulting
dagger.
to just normal milk with chocolate on the side, I suppose.
You're mixing
Yeah.
cocoa
yeah,
powder and
homemade,
maybe
yeah.
homebrew.
Yeah, sure.
I'm not too sure for me. Probably just something niche and vegan. You've just scored a goal in a grand final. What's your celebration?
Just been through it really, haven't we? Wave at mum and dad.
If I've scored in a grand final,
Oh, that's it.
I think mum and dad will be there. I think I would run, jump into the stands. Then I'm running over to the bench, hugging Quayla, hugging Steve-O. Everyone's
happening.
doggy piling.
It
Mosh
has
pit.
to be. Mosh pit.
Game over.
Yeah. All over.
Yeah.
Hang up the boots. Time.
Hang up the boots, sign my gloves, chuck them in the crowd.
Okay, if the A-League gave you a week off mid-season, where in New Zealand are you flying home to first? And what's the first thing you do when you land?
Ooh.
Go on.
Probably just go home and see my dog.
Oh,
Yeah.
where's home?
Auckland. Auckland.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm going Hamilton. I'm going to see Kev, my dog, going on the farm, and I'm eating a pie. That was 3, but like
That was
that's where I'm
Is that
at.
it? What's the first thing you do when you land? Probably get St. Pierre's sushi
Yeah, good
on
option.
the way to cuddle dog.
To see dog. Yeah.
Brucey
Yeah,
boy.
nice.
Give him a piece.
Nice. Dog. Okay, cool.
Yeah, you see some smiles from the players there. They know each other well, a bit of a Kiwi connection.
Amazing stuff there, and a real love of cuisine. Maybe we'll see Kelly Brown trying the ice cream post-game as she looks for suitable dairy. Not happy with the chocolate milk offerings in Australia. There you go. Fascinating to find out about the Plains in the Ninja A-League. And out on the pitch, they have been entertaining us in this first half. Let's take a look at the only goal of the game so far. It was Libby Copus' Brown's corner, which went beyond all the players in the box, but Cass Davis had the awareness to sweep in, pop the ball back in first time, and Lauren Allen, with a little nod, able to time her run, stay on side. Danica Matos and Poppy Hooks were both protesting to the assistant referee, but the goal stands, and it's Newcastle who lead via that 1-0. And let's take a look at the fixtures, because we're about to have kickoff in Canberra United versus Perth Glory, so get your phone or your tablet or your laptop and your multi-screens going so you can enjoy both. Tomorrow, 2 games: Wellington Phoenix host Melbourne Victory and Sydney FC against the Mariners at Leichhardt Oval. And just a reminder that Melbourne City versus Adelaide United, put it in your diaries, it's a catch-up fixture that will be played in mid-December. So the fans enjoying a sunny day at number 2 Sports Ground, and we'll be enjoying the second half on the other side of this break. A beautiful day right at the end of spring. Summer just around the corner in Newcastle, and the home team has young fans smiling, leading 1-0 against the Western Sydney Wanderers via this goal from Lauren Allen, the only strike of the first half so far. Cass Davis with the assist, and Allen's header. It is her favourite opponent, the Western Sydney Wanderers. Of those 22 Ninja A-League goals, 4 of them now have come in 11 appearances against the red and black. So that sets the scene for the second half, and full stands. If you've never been to the #2 sports ground, the fans love to congregate in the grandstand, and then on the really big days they spill around the fence into the outer. Here's the match stats so far. It's been lively. 13 total shots, 6 on target. Both teams with passing accuracy over 80%. And we can expect the Western Sydney Wanderers to chase this game in the second half. They've got a couple of attacking options like Alyssa Nsard, who's burst out of the blocks in the first 3 rounds of the Ninja A-League season. They've also got young attacker Nikita Fazari and the Philippines international Janae DeFazio, who's been deployed in midfield roles, can perhaps push into attacking midfield. As far as Newcastle are concerned, they will be looking for more from the 11 that started the game. Maybe a second goal. Their options on the bench include India Breyer, who scored the match winner away in Canberra in round 1. Claire Adams, who scored here at the #2 sports ground against Adelaide last season for her one and only Ninja A-League goal. And young striker Alexis Collins, who is potentially in line to make her first appearance of the season today. She's still looking for her first goal in this league, the 17-year-old. Sonny Kim So-yoon, the 27-year-old Korean from the Incheon Hyundai Steel Red Angels, grew into the half. Was a bit slow out of the gates, not too many touches of the ball in the first 15 or 20 minutes, but was really coming into her own, linking up as the half went on. Can Wanderers put her in a shooting position, though? She seemed very reluctant to shoot at the edge of the box in the first half, so maybe doesn't want to have a go unless it's a lot closer to the target. We'll wait and see if the halftime team talk changes the Wanderers' mentality. Seemingly no substitutions in the game. Same 11s that started the match, ready to go. Got to make sure we've got a ball out there to kick off. And the Wanderers will attack the right of your screens in this second half. Their season would go to 1 win and 3 defeats if they lose today, while Newcastle, who have already had a bye, would be on 7 points, 2 wins and a draw. So it's Holly Caspers to get the second half underway in this Ninja A-League match. Amy Chisari there waiting for kickoff, and we're back underway with the home side Newcastle enjoying a 1-0 lead against the Western Sydney Wanderers, trying to break a 5-game head-to-head winless run against Western Sydney, which actually dates back to November 2022. They last beat the Wanderers in Tamworth, a one-off visit. That's the last time that the Jets were able to actually beat Western Sydney. They've had 3 losses and 2 draws in the 5 meetings since then. And Wanderers, they don't like coming to Newcastle because they haven't actually won away in Newcastle since December of 2016. As you see the teams appear at the base of your screen there. Jeff Abrahams, the Wanderers coach, watching on. Not only have they not won away in Newcastle since 2016, they've never won here at the #2 sports ground. But this could be promising as Olivia Price tries to find Sonny and Tash Pryor clears away. Battle down in the corner between Josie Allen and Sonny, and Allen with a little burst of speed is able to create some separation, but then Claudia Chico slices out for a throw. Matos. Casper's just inside the area. Pryor, good one-on-one defending. Buchanan pushing up into the midfield to retrieve the ball, but ran out of ideas, taking the game on, and there could be a gap exposed at the back here. Copus Brown over the top. It's a bending ball looking for Melina Ayres. And Danica Matos was able to intercept and clear. That was important from Matos because that is a teasing ball from Libby Copus-Brown from deep inside her defensive half, very nearly setting Melina Reyes away. Players shielding their eyes from the sun as it bounces into the penalty area. No such worries for Hooks, who drives the ball away. Davis round the corner. Ayres in a battle against Matos again, and Matos prevails again. Chisari, Price, caught by Josie Allen. Chisari back in. Allen holds her off and then tried to sidestep Cern. Shot on sight. Oh, and Alana Cern is down. She has a history of foot injuries too. And this is not a good outcome here for the Wanderers. Took the full force of that attempted shot there from Libby Copus-Brown. And Alana Cern is immediately in pain. As we have another look here, Copus-Brown loaded up and just on the follow-through catches the instep of the right foot of Alana Cern, and it's the medical staff on high alert here for the Wanderers centre-back. Cern moved from Western United during the off-season. Up to 56 games now, the 22-year-old who's previously played for Australia at under 23 level. And maybe that could be enough to prompt Wong Ying to be summoned from the bench to make her Western Sydney debut. I think Cern's reaction is as much about her history of injury as it is about this incident. There's no doubt some sensitivity and maybe even paranoia about re-injuring, and the feet can be so hard to rehab. Looks like the paperwork is being shuffled on the bench, and there is Wong Ying, 28 years old, 4 caps for China. Played in the Tokyo Olympics against the Netherlands. That was one of the 4 caps. And newly arrived from Guangdong. Recommended by the Chinese women's national team coach, who is Australian Ante Milicic, the former Matildas and MacArthur coach. And it looks like we're about to get a potential debut here. The assessment continues for Cern. Not what the Wanderers wanted just 4 minutes into the second half, and the sub goes through. A big moment here. Welcome to the Ninja A-League, Wong Ying. Listed as 170 centimetres tall, so a good height. And the reason for the late arrival is Guangdong were still competing in a tournament where both Wong Ying and clubmate Yuan Kong, who's not on the bench today but is at the ground, they were competing and weren't available to move until Guangdong's participation ended. So, first sub of the game, Alana Cern off with a foot concern, and Wong Ying comes on for Western Sydney, and now we've got a head clash, so we're going to have another delay, and it's always a cause for concern when Tash Pryor, with her history of injuries, stays down. Pryor, who actually stepped away from football due to concerns about concussion some years ago, and has since returned and made the Matildas. But that is a flush head clash there. And Holly Caspers, the other party, is also down. So real concerns here for both teams and both players. Pryor, who broke into the Matildas under interim coach Tom Samani, actually scored for the Matildas as well. He's been out of the mix in more recent camps, but obviously the return of the Ninja A-League is her platform for game time. And the medical staff will, of course, be well briefed on Pryor's history of concussion, and they no doubt will have a threshold of whether or not they need to even make a sub as a precaution. Caspers and Pryor both back on their feet. The crowd appreciates what the players do, fighting for a loose ball. Caspers, who missed most of last season with a foot injury of her own, before returning with 4 goals in 9 games at the end of the campaign. The question is, will Pryor be given the tick of approval from the doctors here. The two players, it's a good moment of sportsmanship between each other. So the game resumes, 10 versus 10 for now. Neither team appears to be readying a substitute, and Newcastle will get a little bonus of a corner kick after that hopeful long ball is knotted out. Livy Copus-Brown. Can she put this one on the money? Newcastle corner then. Hooks heads it almost out of her own keeper's hands. Copus-Brown, Lauren Allen. Wanderers wanted offside. The flag stays down. Lauren Allen, no issues receiving that pass. Ball into the box. Karmas collects. Buchanan. Sonny. Pryor back on. Casper's back on. Both players past healthy to continue in the game after the head clash. Buchanan. Casper's watches Chico clear away. Claudia Chico, still only 21, playing her 55th game today. Saw her at left back in the first half, but was more than comfortable at right back as well. Here's Sonny taking a shot, blocked high. Buchanan can't trap it out of the air. Lauren Allen with a clearance. It's bouncing on. And here's a touch now off the bench for the sub Wong Ying. Switching to Matos. Matos into midfield. Chisari sees Dundas coming, so turns and plays it back to Hooks. Wong Ying forcefully hit pass. Price. Harada, Dundas able to win possession away. Lauren Allen caught in possession by Chisari. Turns it back to Buchanan. Davis. Throw in taken quickly. Melina Ayres has stolen a march on the defence. Ayres on the tight angle, looking for teammates. Cuts it back. Dundas, sidestep. Thinking about a shot. Defers to Josie Allen. And now Josie Allen with the attempt, but Matos letting nothing past. And after a start-stop opening to the second half, the game is just starting to find its momentum once again. And Ayres, no thoughts of shooting on the tight angle. It's a really good spot up there to see Dundas at the edge of the box, but plenty of Wanderers defenders obstructing the penalty area, and now they've overcooked the corner and given possession away. Harada can lead the counter-attack. Kim So-Yoon's ahead of the ball. Harada plays the pass. Sonny, it's over to you. And Chico makes a good one-on-one tackle to clear. And the crowd appreciates the work of the defender, who just picked her moment to stick the right foot in and got all ball. Wilson's turn to find the safety of the touchline. Sonny, bending cross to no one in particular. Wilson heads away, volleyed on. Kelly Brown. It's been quiet in the second half, looking to re-engage with the game, the football fern attacker. Dundas heard the shout of Josie Allen. Good link up between those two. But then the pass asking a lot of Brown. Matos maybe had the back pass on, but didn't get a shout from Wong Ying. Based on what the club's told me, there is a bit of a language barrier for all three import players, Kim So-Yoon, Wong Ying and Yuan Kong, but it hasn't, as we see Matos here, impacted at close range by that cross from Kelly Brown, and it's accompanied with an immediate apology. mentioned the start-stop nature of this second half. It's just been one of those games. Horrendous luck right in the face at close range, and understandably, Matos a little bit dazed. So Danica Matos, outstanding last week against the Brisbane Roar. She won't want to leave this game. She's got a reputation for playing every minute of every game, Danica Matos. I feel like it would take something where she'd have to be physically unable to move to get her subbed off, and she's back up, and the doctors seem happy as well. In the meantime, though, it is 11 versus 10. Copus Brown airs up. The ball bounces. Everyone had a look at it. And then eventually Wong Ying cleared. Caspers taken off her by Wilson. Dundas drops the shoulder and then slid a through ball, but there was no runner breaking. Matos has been given the okay to return to the game. Right here, there, that moment of hesitation. Hooks and Wong Ying both just waited in airs, perhaps didn't know where the ball had landed. Hurried clearance. Price. Referee, let's play continue. Good physical challenge from Price. Caspers to Harrison. And now Kim So-yun set away. Sonny through the right side of the box. Just lost the ball between the feet and then can't find a teammate. Dundas crucial. Chisari trying to keep the attack going for Wanderers. Look at Dundas again, like a terrier, coming in, harassing and winning the ball. And the home fans in Newcastle love that, even if the pass out of defence then coughed the ball straight back up to Western Sydney. Harrison. Matos, back up and running. Chisari. Harada. Blocked away by Copus Brown. Wanderers owning the ball. They want to get back to the way they were attacking right at the end of the first half. It did feel like the halftime break came at a bad time for Western Sydney, as they got into their groove and were starting to attack more frequently. Caspers isolated against Wilson. Now defenders arrive in support. Price free as a bird in the box. Oh, what a chance for Price. It's deflected wide for a corner. But the evasiveness of Liv Price there meant that she had the jump on the Newcastle defence, and then Pryor, late with a lunge, able to block it behind. It was nearly goals in consecutive games for the Wanderers midfielder. Instead, they have a corner. Where's Poppy Hooks? The number 4 has been threatening in the air today. Harrison hangs it up. Leet bats it down. Harada blocks. And blocked with enough force that it will run out for a Wanderers throw. We've crossed the hour mark. Here's another look at the corner. And Anna Leet, the goalkeeper, with an outstretched fist, able to get it to the edge of the box, and then defending from the front, Claudia Chico did the rest. 17 total shots at the hour mark, but only the 1 goal to show for it. Matos's long throw. Chico not taking any risks. Wanderers in front on XG now. So they're peppering, they're creating. Can they turn it into something decisive? Not by getting trapped offside, as Caspers has been here. Only the 2 offsides so far in the match. Wanderers will be hoping that's second and last as they keep pursuing an equaliser. Buchanan passing almost dead level now in the second half. Harada Ayres does complete the interception. Josie Allen running at Harada without too many ideas, and then overzealous in how she's pursued the ball, and referee Molly Godsell is going to produce a yellow card. So third of the game out of the pocket, and the young winger, Josie Allen, will need to watch her step for the remainder of the match. It was right there, just a little bit too much from Josie Allen. Sort of tackle you might expect in the other type of football they play here at the number 2 sports ground. Caspers blocked immediately. Harrison follows up. Price. Buchanan making ground over on the left, and then tried to tuck it back inside for Harrison, but the pass was picked off. And now over the top goes Copus Brown. Kelly Brown up against Wong Ying. Brown biding her time, waiting for support. It arrives in the form of Dundas. Now Josie Allen. Dundas turns away from Chisari through the left channel, and just a bit too much on it. Right idea, and very nearly Josie Allen free to swing it across, but ran out of real estate. Dundas has really taken on the game in midfield today, hasn't been afraid to possess the ball, with Chisari right on her case. We've got a double change coming up here, and a couple of young guns are coming on. Alyssa Nsard replaces Holly Caspers, while Nikita Fazari is on for Liv Price. Fourth appearance for Fazari. All as a sub, 65 minutes total so far this season for the 18-year-old. And Alyssa Nsard, the 17-year-old, on for her 4th appearance. And she was called up to the Young Matildas by under-20s coach Alex Aparkas during the week. So a massive week for Alyssa Nsard. And she'd love to cap it off maybe by scoring a first Ninja A-League goal.
Camera 2 has to have the double and you get tight enough to resurrect.
And so Caspers and Price, a couple of the more veteran members of the team. 29 years old Price and 25 Caspers, replaced by a 17-year-old and an 18-year-old, as the Wanderers hope some youthful exuberance can find them an equaliser. Nsard had a sensational winter season, 14 goals in 25 appearances for the Gladesville Ravens in NPL New South Wales. Here's Chisari making the intercept. However, had her pocket picked by Copus Brown. Dundas back to Pryor, showing no ill effects of the head knock earlier. Kelly Brown with a glance into midfield, just a little bit slick. Chisari won it back. Now Kim Soyun. Sonny lifts up across. Headed away by Josie Wilson to her own advantage. And even though she's got Amy Harrison chasing, Wilson is able to consolidate possession. Chico wants to turn back and play it to Anna Leet. Buchanan's header bending out for a Newcastle throw. Cass Davis given a bit of space in midfield to advance the ball. Now Josie Allen sees Kelly Brown. Brown through the challenge of Wong Ying. It's Kelly Brown, blocked away. Hook's got her body in line. Cass Davis, though, and the combination of Hooks and Chisari stops another shot from being taken. Harrison a little bit too much into the back of Emma Dundas, and the referee wasn't reaching for a card, was reaching for the little can of temporary spray paint to mark the field. So it's a mid-range free kick here for Newcastle as they try to double their lead. Melina Ayres and Cassidy Davis brainstorming a plan over this set piece. going to be Ayres. Hit it with force. And the wall did its job to block it. And now the counter-attack is on. Alyssa Ungsard, fresh off the bench. Ducks inside, plays the ball to Sonny. Look at the run here from Matos. Ungsard waiting in the penalty area. Hard-headed to win. And it went over her head. Harrison. The Wanderers will have an attacking half throw-in, but it could have been more. Wong Ying concedes a throw-in. More activity on the sideline. It's going to be all action here as Lauren Allen's number comes up, as does Tash Pryor's. So Kiwi defender Olivia Page will go in at centre back for Tash Pryor. There's Page, the New Zealand under-20 international. Pryor leaves the game. Lauren Allen gets the plaudits coming off in her 100th game. There's Zoe Karapetis. She comes on. Another young defender. And Kelly Brown will make way here for the 17-year-old striker, Alexis Collins. So Brown, who's been in the wars today, but got through 68.5 minutes, takes her leave. And homegrown local Alexis Collins comes on for an Ninja A-League appearance. Number 9, still looking for her first goal. And the crowd will give an ovation here to Lauren Allen as she walks around the outside of the pitch back to the bench. So you'd have to say it's a net defensive switch, one striker swap. Page and Pryor also like for like, but Karapetis has come on for Lauren Allen. So perhaps Newcastle, just a subtle readjustment to go a little bit more defensive. However, if they score a second here, it'll be a pretty inspired triple sub. Chico's cross, and no one attacking the near post for the home side as Karmas collects. There is Lauren Allen making her way around. You'll know that she's getting close to the bench when you hear the grandstand give her an ovation. She is the only goal scorer so far, but there's plenty of time to go for Western Sydney. Here's Kim So-Yun. It's a cross shot, and it's easy pickings for Anna Leet. Well, they love the Jets here in Newcastle, and they've been crying out for a winning team and for a contender. Season before last, they thought that maybe it was going to be their year, but they ran into an inspired Melbourne City in the semi-finals. Lost 6-0 over 2 legs in the end. And then they dipped straight back out of finals contention last campaign. So maybe last season is the aberration. Here's Collins, fresh off the bench. Pass has been sharked by Harrison. Wanderers have got to keep chasing and keep believing here. The game's still only decided by 1 goal. Here's Page. Wilson to Davis. So, see a different looking Newcastle defensive setup now. Looks like Karapetis might have even been playing as an old school sweeper there, some meters behind the other defenders. Here's Page over on the right wing, trying to take the game on. Pulls off the nutmeg against Chisari. Got the cross away. Well, it was good wing play until the cross came in, but that's what Olivia Page is capable of. So, connection, a little glance off the crossbar in the end. It may have been a lot closer to scoring than it initially seemed. And because it went out for a goal kick, not with the aid of a deflection either. Zoe Karapetis. Possession hasn't changed much since half-time. As Buchanan goes crashing in, throw-in taken quickly. Collins turns and faces. And, well, the assistant referee flagging. Ella Buchanan argues her case, but the free kick has been given. And this is in a dangerous position. If the Jets did have Charlotte Lancaster in the squad today, a natural left-footer, I think she'd be taking it. Yeah, the push adjudged to be just a bit too much there from Buchanan. Seemingly, they don't have a left-footed set-piece taker, the Jets, so Livy Copus-Brown looks like she's going to be taking responsibility here. Even this far from the finish line, a second goal, you might suggest, would make it Newcastle's day. Copus-Brown, low, near post attack. Ayres was lurking, and it's scrambled away at the last. And you just feel like with more games and more sharpness in her return to A-League action, Melina Ayres is going to be scoring those by the second half of the season. Real penalty box predator, Melina Ayres. Wanderers can't clear their defence at the moment. Newcastle enjoying a spell on top. But can they turn it into a 2-0 lead? Page. Collins, the two subs linking up. Dundas. Confident sidestep to keep the ball away from Harrison, and then releasing over to Josie Allen, who's jagging in from the wing. Josie Allen had a one-track mind there. I think the intent was to shoot as soon as she took possession. And the crowd again enjoying the link-up of their two young Matildas. Allen involved straight away again. Harada. Chisari battling. Dundas, Chisari. Well, the body language says it all. There's no one to pass to. Melissa Ungsard made space on the right. Ungsard tries to back her speed. Chico, who's also quick, clears it away. Now it's Fazari's turn. Can't get a touch on the ball, though, and it harmlessly rolls out for a goal kick. Fazari, who did win Young Matildas caps at the end of last season before she'd made her Ninja A-League debut, but not in the most recent selection that came out during this week. Ayres caught in possession by Buchanan. Harada. Hooks. Wong Ying. Harada with a bit of space to work. Wong Ying, Chisari, the link-up play from Wanderers takes them into the attacking third. Ungsard, now Matos. There was a late shove, but I think Wanderers want to keep the ball rolling here. Ungsard, and the cross to the back post headed down only as far as Sonny. Can she free the feet? She can't. Cass Davis clears away. Wanderers again promising until they get to the edge of the penalty area. Harrison. Chico clearing. Here's another look at how Karapetis went in. And as the ball runs over the line, it's going to be another goal kick. Hooks. Goes to the right flank. Matos. Great touch, Ngsard. Opened up the game. Sonny back to Ngsard. Dundas snapping at the heels. Ngsard! Well, there's real bravery in this youngster, and Alyssa Ngsard had a go, but the shot just kept rising. And Newcastle are on notice. There's a lot of time left. They can't commit to sitting back on this 1-0 lead and invite Western Sydney on when there's a threat like that out there. Josie Allen perhaps heeding that warning. Fazari wins possession off Ayres. Around the corner for Sonny. Kim So-yun. Chasari. Pass out into space. Kim So-yun trying to get to the ball, but Karapetis gets across and clears. Karapetis, who, with her appearance in round 1, returned to the league after giving US College a try and deciding to return to Australia, meaning that she missed all of the 2024-25 season after being a semi-regular. Started breaking into the first 11 during 2023-24. Our Wanderers swinging the pendulum for one last charge here. They will feel as though their afternoon of toil has teased them. They're just about up to a full 1.0 XG. And they've had their chances. Here's Harada. Harrison. Oh, just a little shallow with the return ball. Wilson intercepted. Copus Brown. Page. Collins has dragged Hooks wide. Alexis Collins. Back to Dundas. Chico. Davis. Newcastle in no hurry. Wanderers are readying more subs. They need the fresh legs. They need to be able to press if they're going to win this ball back. Otherwise, Newcastle might just be able to manage the clock through the last 10 minutes. It's been a long chain of passes here. Dundas venturing forward. Josie Allen, a driven cross, and easy pickings for Karmas. Good distribution, straight to Harrison, up to the halfway line. Ngsard in space. Only Sonny ahead of the ball. Kim So-yun, Ngsard's pass, not to the advantage of the attacker, and Karapetis is able to get it back to Leet. Cass Davis. And this is what's going to happen to the Wanderers if they can't advance the press all the way up. Newcastle again, almost defending with the ball, enjoying uncontested possession. Wanderers need to find a new spark and another burst. Buchanan. Hooks. Got to be careful with Collins closing. Wong Ying and Ayres puts it behind for a goal kick. And that is going to prompt a double sub. Last roll of the dice, perhaps, for Western Sydney. Janae DeFazio is coming on for what will be her third appearance. And it is a Ninja A-League debut for 17-year-old Amy Barker. Ella Buchanan comes off for DeFazio. And it's a great moment for Barker, who was one of the standouts for Wanderers' NPL team over the winter. 20 appearances and 3 goals. And she's coming on for the captain here, Amy Harrison, who takes her leave in the 82nd minute. But a great moment for Barker at only 17 years of age, another of the Wanderers Academy prospects that they are bringing through. And she is a very accomplished centre midfielder at NPL level, even at her young age. So let's see how she goes in the top league. Kim So-yun. Is that a corner kick? Karapetis thought that it was safe to watch it roll out, and instead it's a little bonus. And Barker is going to be waiting in the penalty area with all their teammates here. Under a little gift here, a corner kick for Western Sydney. Again, the number 4, Poppy Hooks, the most likely player to aim for here. They're not the tallest team. The Wanderers a bit of a mosquito fleet out there at the moment. Can Sonny put it on the money? Over the head of Hooks, DeFazio, the Philippines international, straight off the bench. And caught by the Newcastle youngster Collins. And she releases Chico. And Chico is going to back her pace here against Anna Harada. And that's well played by the Jets. They've seen off that Wanderers corner. And look at this. Alexis Collins is a striker, but had absolutely no apprehensions there. One-on-one defending against Janae DeFazio. And then Chico able to take the ball down to safety, relatively speaking, at the opposite end of the pitch. Sard has been a catalyst for Western Sydney, but they're still at risk of leaving empty-handed now. They have scored in all 3 games coming up to today, Western Sydney, and that is in stark contrast to last season, where they failed to score in a league-high 11 out of their 23 matches. So on a day where they've definitely done enough to score, it would leave them very disappointed if they end up not being able to find a goal from somewhere. Karapetis, again, that sideline hasn't exactly been her friend. However, on this occasion, it's only a goal kick. A good battle between the youngsters. 20-year-old Karapetis. And the 17-year-old Alyssa Ringsard. Allen was hiding in the shadows there. Hooks comes across to put it into the top tier of the stand. Jeff Abrahams sees the theatre in it all. But he's played every card now. He's brought on all 5 of his outfield substitutes, so it's in their hands from here. The Jets still have potentially 2 players, outfielders, they could bring on. India Breyer and also Claire Adams. 5 minutes of regulation to go. Melina Reyes is going to shoot from distance! Into the crossbar. Sham Kharma's got a hand on the ball and tipped it into the woodwork. And Ayres knows she was agonisingly close there to not just sealing the points, but completing the set of scoring against every opponent in the league. And again, that is just typical of Melina Ayres. She is always thinking about how to take that ball and stick it in the net. It doesn't matter where, and it doesn't matter how. And the result is a corner. Wilson and Page, 2 big targets here for Libby Copus-Brown to aim at. With a driven corner, and Hooks gets up for the defensive header. Copus-Brown, second ball, Kharmas makes the catch. 4 minutes to go, and it's still just 1 goal separating these teams. It'll be a Wanderers ball right on halfway. Stephen Hoyle overseeing a Newcastle revival. He's only minutes away now from going 3 games unbeaten. The Wanderers have one last burst. Wong Ying back to Kharmas. Dundas Handball given. So even though Copus Brown was taking possession, Dundas adjudged to have handled the ball. Due to the international break, we'll stay with live play. Come back to who's got what in the future. Right now it's all about the present. Wong Ying. Long diagonal ball, asking a lot of DeFazio. And Josie Allen sees it out for a throw-in. So Newcastle are back at home on Sunday. 4 o'clock they play the Brisbane Roar, who are currently in bye week. And the Western Sydney Wanderers have got next weekend off. Their match coming up next is December 7, Sydney Derby. So they're going into a couple of weeks break after these last minutes plus stoppage. Newcastle, by contrast, want to be taking their unbeaten record, putting it nose to nose against the Brisbane Roar in 8 days' time. Here's Copus Brown. Ayres can't take possession cleanly. Chisari to Harada. Harada gets it launched. Karapetis with a challenge on Sonny, and the referee says no foul. So Wanderers attacker has to gingerly get up, and there will be a foul this time. Copus Brown. So, is there enough there? Well, I suggest that maybe there's a degree of fortune, but no arguments here. There's a grab of the shirt from Barker, and then Insad comes in and makes it a formality. Libby Copus Brown, fitness and form permitting, would be the next jet in line to reach 100 games, but some distance away. 112 career, but a significant chunk of those spent at the Western Sydney Wanderers. Last minute of regulation then. Overhead kick from Hooks was spectacular, but it's going to be blown up here for a high boot. And so the eccentric clearance leads to a free kick for Newcastle. And it's down the right end as far as they're concerned. Copus Brown is going to take every second on offer here. As we tick into stoppage time at the end of the match. Copus Brown with a drifter that still requires a save. It was bending back on target. Sham Khamis able to rake it in. But the clock is now Western Sydney's enemy. They've got 6 minutes. But truth be told, they haven't exactly been getting closer to an equaliser as this second half has gone on. Here's a chance. Unbelievable save. Molina Reyes is foiled in spectacular fashion. Sham Khamis, take a bow. Ayres was trying to score goal of the season, and Sham Khamis answered with a great save. Ayres can't believe she hasn't scored today. Khamis has made 2 incredible saves to foil it. And the Jets are down the right end as far as consolidating this 1-0 lead. That would have been quite the full stop on the game had Ayres put that in the net. Newcastle happy to start the shenanigans down in the corner. And we're going to have a time-wasting sub. Time-wasting double sub. India Breyer and Claire Adams are going to come on for stoppage time as part of a double change. And it's going to be a warm round of applause for Molina Reyes. So that first career goal against the Western Sydney Wanderers continues to evade her. She couldn't have done much more. Took a crack at 2, well, yeah, Molina, I think she knows. Had a crack at 2 absolute worldies out there today. I mean, you won't see a striker play much better without scoring, truth be told. It is a great attempt and an even better save. And so Claire Adams comes on. It's wound almost an entire minute of the 6th stoppage off the clock, and the Jets have got the ball down the right end. They are trying to close this out. Adams, and now the chance, oh, that has somehow gone wide. Alexis Collins so close to her first Ninja A-League goal, and that would have been the sealer. Somehow it flew wide of the target, and Wanderers, amazingly, are still a chance of leaving with something. It feels as though it's just been the Jets playing the hits here in the final minutes of this game, and the ball's been living down their attacking end. Let's have another look here at how this managed to miss the target. Adams with a big hefty block. Collins just sank the slipper and put it wide. You saw it graze the net on the near side as it flew by. We're halfway through stoppage time. Can Wanderers find a surprise right at the end of the game? Harada. Matos gets it to the edge of the box. Calmly volleyed away by Karapetis and then driven to safety by Josie Wilson. Great play in midfield. Collins filled with confidence here. And now Breyer was streaming forward on the left. She still might be on here, as is Adams. It's Adams! Saved by Karmas. I make that 6 saves from Karmas from shots on target by Jets players. She's been the difference between one and a whole lot more as this game has gone on. And we're going to have a foul and a yellow card here in midfield. And the Wanderers will take the ball and they will try to head forward. We're going to have a bit of stoppage here for a fallen player. Yellow card's out of the pocket, but it hasn't been shown just yet. So we're still waiting for Claudia Chico, but let's go back to this attack a moment ago. Collins got a second chance. Claire Adams shooting at her second goal. Karmas one-on-one save, and then Chico here through Amy Barker. And the reason the yellow card hasn't been shown is that it's Chico, and there we go. She does get shown the yellow card after all. So we're into the last minute of stoppage, and Chico, she's sore, and it's worth remembering, off-season before last, she missed the Under-20 World Cup with a broken foot. So this is not good for the Jets. This would be a sour ending to the game if Claudia Chico has suffered a reprisal of a previous injury. Hopefully, it's just the shock of the moment. She's in tears, and it's not good. Claudia Chico, a 21-year-old, back for her. Well, I think she's laughing it off, which hopefully is a good sign. Can't believe that this incident here has left her a bit emotional. I guess when you, yeah, look, it's a tangle of legs, and even though Chico was the one booked, she was definitely left a little bit worse for wear. So the 6 minutes of additional time has expired. Wanderers are going forward. Can they steal a draw at the end of this one? They're going to have to try again. The free kick was knocked away. Chisari. They're on borrowed time here. Kim So-Yun, a great spin on the ball. Sonny pops it into the box. Karapetis up and under. Hooks went for the overhead kick, and it's cleared away to safety. Well, at one end, we saw Ayres denied by a save. At the other, Hooks got fresh air. Matos, Wanderers still trying. Still throwing everything at the game, and Cass Davis blazes it away. we tick into an 8th minute of additional time. The Jets have made all their subs. They're a player short. Karmas. Molly Godsell, the referee, not looking at the watch just yet. There's time for the Wanderers. Harada, through the left channel they go. Wong Ying's been thrown forward. Knocks it back. Sonny against Page. And now here's Wong Ying. Is it a corner? It's hugging the line, and it didn't find a way out. Leet picks up the ball. The Newcastle Jets have never gone 3 games undefeated to start an A-League women's season, all the way back to the competition's inauguration in 2008. They're going to be at least that today. The only question now is, do they leave with a win or a draw? Karmas. Harada. Still we play. We're going to be in the 99th minute as the Wanderers venture forward one last time. It's the best ever start to a Ninja A-League season for the Newcastle Jets. Lauren Allen's goal in her 100th game is the difference. And a thrilling end-to-end match, amazingly, only delivered us the 1 goal. It was competitive, it was physical, it was everything we love about the Ninja A-League. Lauren Allen leaves as the hero in a game that had plenty of them. And the Wanderers leave empty-handed, while Newcastle will wonder how they didn't run up the score as the game went on. It's finished. Newcastle Jets 1, Western Sydney Wanderers 0. So, let's get into the highlights. This was just a frantic game at times. Back to the first half, Newcastle were winning possession high up the pitch, really putting on the heat in the first 10 minutes of the contest. There was this chance for Libby Copus-Brown, driven through traffic and repelled away, and then Sham Karmas nearly got caught in possession on a back pass by Kelly Brown. This was the